Nigeria and you buy a product from me.
This meeting is being recorded.
Sorry, that was an oversight on my part. Yeah, we need
that's
to
fine.
record.
That's fine. Yeah. So your question is, I am a merchant. I'm in London or I'm in Johannesburg. You are a customer. You are in Nigeria, and you buy the product. Is there a way to track the product that is being delivered?
Yes.
Okay. So there are a number of elements here. Okay. The first element is when a merchant puts in a product, they determine their delivery methods, right? So they would say, the merchant would say, I can only deliver in a specific location. Say, in Nairobi. That's all. That I cannot go beyond Nairobi. I'm not able to deliver in Mombasa. Or the merchant would say, I am able to deliver everywhere on the continent. I'm not going to deliver in Europe. Or I'm able to deliver anywhere worldwide. When a merchant puts that in the system, especially products that need to go out of their specific geographic location, we now link an international dispatch company to that merchant. We have a number of them. So they would now choose which one. And once they choose, then the tracking element for an international courier becomes visible to the customer. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. So every merchant determines where they are going to deliver. And if it's beyond their borders, if it's anywhere out of their borders, maybe into another country, we link the merchant with an international delivery company that they select, and that becomes the dispatch that they would receive. That it would give them the tracking code for that product as it gets delivered to the client. Okay.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I can see Brother Vernon's hand is still up. I'm not sure whether he had a second question, which...
Yes, thank you. It's the same question, actually, but I was not satisfied with the answer because your suggestion, that was already done. But what we were informed by the agent that the new registration portal is not yet activated. And we heard that last week. So what I was...
Last week?
Yeah, just as
No, it is. Just a moment. Let's see. I'm going to share my screen now. It is active, and you would see that it's active. I'm going to share my screen now.
Okay, we're told it's not activated as it.
Let me maybe one of the support team members can also speak at this point. Sister Pauline, or who is there? Lumba.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so have you guys, have we had any problem with the registration on Swift account? Is there a problem with registration there?
I haven't personally experienced any. I don't know if any other support member has.
Has anyone in the support team experienced issues with the...
Yeah, I think the only issue that was like last week was the difficulty is the verification email.
But that was sorted out. That was sorted out earlier in the week.
Yes. Yeah, that was sorted out. So apart from that, that was the only issue.
Okay, so maybe let's
sorry, Brother Mbi. I had somebody a few days ago who was struggling to register using the 44cc. And I asked them to give it a time. They were getting invalid login as a response.
Okay, so there are a number of things when we get that invalid login, especially when you use the 44cc. One is that possibly the person is either using a wrong. Did you check to see that the person who was asking to change the 44cc has the right Swifin ID? And
I think, Brother B,
out the right name.
I think at this juncture, allow me to go in, Sister Lumba. I think I'm very conversant with the particular user that she's referring, and I realized it was a Swifin ID issue. And because I eventually managed to go, when I went in, picked up the Swifin ID and went on, did 44cc, it accepted and gave me the option to change the password, which I then didn't do, and went on to advise them that they must do it properly, as guided by Sister Lumba, because I don't think they were following what she had guided.
Exactly. So when you notice that someone has used 44cc and they're having an issue, it would certainly be that the Swifin ID they are using has an issue. So the first thing is to go by yourself and check whether that Swifin ID is the right Swifin ID, because otherwise, they will keep it. And once they have invalid 2-3 times, it will lock them out for 1 hour. If they go and do it 6 times, it will lock them out for 6 hours. If they do it even more times, it will lock them out for 24 hours. Okay, and what we have noticed is that people would try it 2-3 times, and then in 15 minutes they will come back, try again 2-3 times, and the time that it would lock you out becomes even longer, because it means that it's someone who is trying to crack the account and who do not have the right, who do not have, it's not their account. The system basically would just be very cautious about that kind of login. So the suggestion always is that when someone wants to access that account, they need to make sure that their Swifin ID is correct. If they don't know their Swifin ID, they should come onto the ticket and give the name they used to open that account. If we get the name, we are able to track and get the Swifin ID, and also triangulate and make sure that the person who is requesting to access the account is the owner of the account. Or at least the merchant, in terms of, especially for our rural people, the merchant who would have helped them, or the agent who would have helped, people within a specific community to open accounts. So we are able to track using that. Okay, so I wanted, Brother Ella, can you allow me to share?
Okay.
You're the host.
Oh, all right. Can you share now? Are you able to?
Okay. Yes, I am. Okay. So can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So for Brother Vernon and for everyone else, if anybody who already has a profile on Connect, we always say that what you would notice is that account is the only icon that is in red. Okay, account is the only icon that is in red. If you are seeing it on your mobile phone, about 83% of our members of our community only access the platform with their mobile phone. If you are accessing with your mobile phone, then this is what you will see. You would see something like this. Can you see my screen still?
Yes.
You can, yes. So this is what you will see if you are accessing maybe from a mobile phone or something. Oh, come on. This thing is just too sensitive. Okay, there we go. And if this is what you are seeing, this is what you do to be able to access this To be able to access this access points, the access points on the right here, this ones. Okay. Why are you searching? Why is it searching? Let's refresh. To be able to access this, if you are seeing it from your mobile phone, this is what you would see, something like that. And then all you need to do is to go and click on your picture. Click on your photo. If that doesn't work, you can click here. Then it will take you to the profiles and all. Someone's account is this thing. But generally what you do is you click on your picture and you use this drop down arrow. I hope you guys can see what I'm showing. Let me go back.
Yes, we can see it.
Okay. Oh, it's taking me out.
Whilst you're on there, Brother B, the issue about pictures, I've seen quite a number of accounts that do not have avatars, those pictures. May people be encouraged to upload pictures?
Yeah, so if you don't have an avatar there, if you don't have an avatar there, this is also one of the ways we know who we are dealing with. We need to have you need to have your picture here. When we go into account now, there's also a requirement for a picture, but we have simplified the registration on an account, and there are 2 levels of registration. We are only on the first level. The second layer is where we start asking for picture, your ID, and all of that. And we are trying to make sure that because of all these things, we do not restrict people from having access. Okay. So what you need to do is just click on your picture. Once you click on your picture, you would have this arrow, and that arrow leads you. The arrow would give you the same icons like the one I showed you at the beginning. All of this. You have all these items here. It's taking me to. I have only 22 friends. Can you believe it? Nobody is my friend. How many people? 22 friends. Hold on, it's taking a bit long to load. So you would have this. And when you get here, you would notice that the only icon here with red is account. So if you click on account, it will open. We always try to do this because we know that the majority of people only gain access through using their mobile phones. And this is what you will see when you go onto your mobile phone. Okay? Then, if you don't have an account on Swifin account, the way we have made it for now is so that only someone who has an account can register you. But by next week, we would also have a register icon in this box. So if you come and you do not have a Swifin ID because you did not have an account in the historical platform and you cannot access, you'll be able to click onto that and register. So we would have another icon here for registration. By next week, we will have that. We just decided to put it this way because our focus, first of all, was for everyone who had the historical account so that we can transition them properly. I'm not sure now which one is this, which.